day. Not bad. Efficient day. Celtics are back. Had 2 days to sit on a nice win. Thank goodness.
Yes.
Imagine if they lost 4 straight and then we had to sit on it for 2 days.
That'd be brutal. Pod would have been a disaster.
Pod probably would have been fire. Even though people like have not been paying attention as much because they've been losing, like you can totally see like people don't care as much like when things get bad. Even though it's more fun to do pods.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit backwards. I feel like people like sometimes should care more. Like I feel like
Jack's dad's pumped. He's already in the chat, and sports betting is legal now for him.
Oh yeah.
I almost tweeted at him yesterday and was like, happy like holidays, and then tagged him.
Yes. My dad had the date. I got
Did you win your first bet, Mr. Simone? Did you bet? What was it?
Let us know. Well, I mean, Dad, if you haven't bet, FanDuel and DraftKings are doing a special. They're doing specials right now. Let me find them. There's specials for the opening of sports betting in Massachusetts. The one for DraftKings is plus 100 odds for the Celtics to score a point.
Oh, like
just
like it all?
Yeah, just if they get a point, you win.
What's the limit?
You can put $50 max on it, 50 to win 100. So I put 50 to win 100. Yeah.
So shout out for me.
I can only do it once. You gotta get on.
Shit.
And then FanDuel is you can max bet 100, but it is Celtics to make at least 1-3. And so
how funny it would be if that one lost.
Yeah, right. Celtics make like 1 plus 3s. Yeah, versus Hawks max bet $100. So I had to throw it. Jack's subtle mustache is doing things. What do you?
You missed out. Like I had like a super cool mustache for like a month. And then somebody asked me how long I'd been growing it, and the answer was far too long. So I went home and shaved it immediately. But you missed out, Jared. Like I had one going.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even know. I mean, I shaved like 3 days ago. I don't know like what you're talking about.
I'm not shaving a whole lot.
Yeah, no.
It's not something often. I have to do very often.
No. Hello, Ben.
Welcome
Good evening. Good evening. Celtics taking on the Hawks tonight. The Hawks, how have the Hawks been doing lately? I forgot to look before he jumped on. Not very good this season overall, but
no, not very good.
Jack is
that might be one of my favorite comments of all time.
Thanks, Jared. Appreciate you.
Can you please make that your Twitter bio?
Maybe not. Hawks have won 2 in a row. Granted, both wins were against the Washington Wizards, so take it with a grain of salt. They're now above 500 at 34-33. They've been very, very up and down this season. They have been consistently, hovering around the 500 mark thus far.
Sounds like a million teams.
Yeah.
Like I feel like half the NBA has had that season, especially out west. Like all the teams in the Western Conference are like 500 except for the top 3.
Yeah, pretty much. So that's kind of been the Hawks. A lot of smoke around the trade deadline surrounding the Hawks and John Collins yet again, he stayed in Atlanta. They made a trade. They got Sadiq Bey. That was the only real big move they made. Exactly. It's a like you said.
And now they have a Celtics killer, like you said. Fantastic.
Sadiq Bey on the roster.
Over under 25 points for Sadiq Bey. Over.
I don't know if he's been playing lately.
I hope not. Here. I hope he's not playing. That'd be nice. Bogdanovich is out for them today.
That's big. He usually plays well.
Yes, he does.
But he's played roughly 26 minutes for Atlanta since joining the team. He's shooting 49% from 3. So get ready. He's hot lately.
Can't wait.
He's been playing 25 minutes, 20 minutes, 32, 34. So he actually has been playing a decent amount for Atlanta since joining the team. And he's been playing really well since joining the Hawks this season. He's averaging 11 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, shooting 48% from the field and 49% from 3. So he's hot. So you probably, just get ready. Jen wants to, this is my dad's girlfriend, wants to know if the stash is Zoe, who is my girlfriend approved. There is no stash. I don't know what we're talking. I just haven't shaved since Wednesday. Like what are we talking about here? Like there's nothing. I FaceTimed Zoe today and she didn't say anything.
Jack's or mine.
I FaceTimed Zoe today and she didn't say anything, so I don't think she noticed.
I guess it's approved.
Or yeah,
because it was not, you would have heard.
Zoe doesn't like facial hair though, so I don't think she would. No. Well, actually,
that's why she must watch our streams then.
Yeah, I guess.
Neither one of us.
No.
She gets real pissed when Tim comes on.
I think a lot of people are going to be surprised when the Hawks blow it up sooner rather than later. I'm not surprised at all. I think they need to blow it up. That team stinks. I think they have the pieces to make it work. Like Trae Young's a good player. DeJounte Murray's a good player. John Collins is a good enough player in his own right. Right. AJ Griffin, rookie this year, he's good. DeAndre Hunter this year, he's good. Like on paper, I feel like the Hawks should be around where like the Knicks and the Cavs are. Right. Right. Like they should be a good team fighting for a top 5 seed.
Because it feels like they had like you could split their team in half and have like 2 good starting bases like to make a roster. Like if you were playing pickup with the Atlanta Hawks, like you could have 2 competitive teams like split.
They have a good 10-man rotation.
Yeah, you have a bunch of like solid wings, some good bigs. Like they just can't get it together. They did fire McMillan. They brought in Quinn Snyder, so we'll see how that pans out for them. 2K loves them.
Mm-hmm.
In all the Sims I've done, they've been just in the finals. Don't get it.
Mm-hmm. I don't think John Cena has a mustache. So
yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like John Cena has never had facial hair.
No.
Or really any hair.
Mm-mm.
Usually has like a short army cut.
Mm-hmm. They're like the bloodless version of the Sixers. Tons of talent and big moves, but little success to show for it. Yeah, I guess fair enough. I don't know. I feel like they could maybe trade Trae at some point in the future. From everything you're hearing, it sounds like he's not exactly a popular
Miami has been
a
place that's been thrown around for him.
That would be interesting.
Some desperate team will do it.
I feel like the Knicks are a good spot for him. I genuinely think
funny.
I think Trae Young and the Knicks makes them sort of like what the Cavs are, right? I don't necessarily think it would have the exact same, effect as Donovan Mitchell, because I don't think they have like the defensive pieces of Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, but like Jalen Brunson's an all-star caliber player. Julius Randle was an all-star this year. Regardless of your feelings of him, he's a good player and he's had a good season. Trae Young fitting in there. Jalen Brunson liked to tweet about them playing together. We've seen Jalen Brunson can play with a ball dominant guard before in Luka. You throw Trae Young at the 1, have him play off ball a little bit. Jalen Brunson at the 2, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson. Then you still got a good base, and you got some decent pieces to trade as well. Like I doubt they'd want to give up quickly, right? But he could be something to sweeten the pot. Obi Toppin is someone that barely plays. He could be somebody if the Hawks decide to move on from John Collins at some point that could fit in well, right? You got Evan Fournier and Derrick Rose as salary matching contracts, right? Like just to
everybody
match the
wants
deal.
Those guys.
Well, to match the salary, and then they have tons of first round picks to throw away.
Wasn't Quickly involved in a bunch of rumors before the deadline? I feel like I read stuff that like they were shopping him around
for like a first or a second round pick. Yeah.
Imagine that just for like essentially nothing. Like first round picks are fine. Like you can get lucky with that, but second rounds are only going to be so good. And now people are putting that guy in like top tier 6 man of the year conversations. So what a time it has been. I am curious if Andrew's in the chat if he would want Trae Young on the Knicks, because I feel like as a Knicks fan, you would not want him because you don't like him and you don't want to have to support him.
Maybe. Potentially.
He's in the chat. Andrew, let us know.
Yeah. Time Lord is back. I don't think so. I don't think Rob's playing tonight.
He's going to be out probably for another week. About that.
Celtics 5 was just put on Twitter. Let me type it in. I have a feeling I know what it is, but take a look just
Celtics
in case.
Are favored tonight. 5.5 points.
Rightfully so.
We'll see.
They should be favored. Here's the Celtics starting 5 tonight. Not sure. Robert Williams is not playing tonight. He is still out. Hawks 5 tonight will be, let's type it out. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, Clint Capella. Andrew saying no thank you to Trae Young in the chat.
Yeah. See, I feel that way with certain players. Like there was talk that, well, not talk, but like people were speculating like if the Celtics would trade Kyrie for LeBron when Kyrie was here and like things weren't going well, and like I was like I would never want him on this team. I wouldn't want to support him, that kind of thing. So I get that. Especially like the Knicks are finally likable to their fans, like they're finally doing something. Like, do you really want to bring in somebody like Trae Young that's supposedly causing problems in Atlanta? Coach is fired after, by the way, McMillan came in and took them to the conference finals. And now he's gone.
Jared saying Trae and Brunson are too small. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying if there was a team out there that would be chasing a star right now, it's probably New York. Get an extra person. I mean, you have to imagine if they get the right person in there, they're a star away from being, at least seen as a legitimate contender. They have the talent. Otherwise, they're a solid playoff team.
Now they're
this
still
year.
quote unquote fun.
Yeah,
the most insulting adjective you can be called is an NBA team that wants to compete.
Riding the line. Let's see. Birkin saying the Bucks will lose 3 in a row. Check their schedule.
Well, they have Golden State tonight.
Yeah, if that's who you're referring to, I don't really care. I still think the Bucks are going to beat the
on the
Warriors
road
tonight. Are they in Golden State?
They're in Golden State.
Oh, I thought they were. Oh, no. I thought they were on the road. Okay,
yeah, no.
Maybe they got a chance.
If Golden State was on the road, it's a different story. But like Golden State's like 6.5 point favorites. I was looking because I had the same thought. I was like, man, like if they're at home, they might win. And I thought they'd be dogs, but they're not because Giannis must be out. So
yeah, I think Giannis was questionable.
I sure
know if they're in Golden State, then Golden State will have a chance. Then they got in Sacramento and in Phoenix. Like as much as those are good, well, Phoenix.
Well, KD's hurt.
Yeah. That's questionable. Yeah, I'm not going to back the Bucks losing 3 in a row. It's possible, but like,
sure, that would be fire. I would love if they lost 3 in a row. I'd be like, oh my god, the Celtics are back.
They had a chance. And Celtics are currently how many games back?
2.5.
They are 2.5 games back of the Bucks. Not ideal. They are only 1.5 games up on the 76ers.
Very good. Now. Closer to third than first. Love that.
Yeah, 76ers have won 4 in a row. Yeah, I mean, I feel like a part of the Celtics, and we talked about this as a potential problem for them, easing up a little. I feel like they don't care about the regular season anymore. I feel like they're just focused on getting to the playoffs, which is fine. It is what it is. And I'm so confident the Celtics can beat a lot of these teams in a 7-game series. But you'd like to see them turn it around on this road trip. You'd like to see them get back to playing normal.
I think home court's important too. I think the Garden's a tough place to come into and play. I mean, last season you didn't necessarily see that because they played like me and you out there a lot of the time when they're at the Garden. Lost a lot of games there. Would they lose 2 to Miami, 2 to Milwaukee? And they swept the first round and then, of course, lost 2 in the finals. So it wasn't exactly a fortress, but traditionally they do play really well at home in the playoffs, as does everyone. But I'm not sure they're going to be as great on the road this season without Udoka as the coach. So I really would like to see them at home, especially against
Milwaukee. What does that have to do with it?
I feel like he was a big force in keeping them locked in road games.
Pretty sure they're the best road team in the league this year.
Well, if they are, then that's even better. I'm happy to be wrong.
I'm pretty sure. Let me look. They're at least top 3. Let me see. Road. Where do I see road? Road. Let's see here. They are the best road team in the league this year, tied with the Bucks, 20 and 12. There you go.
Then screw it. Sit everybody and play all road games.
Yeah, they've been good at the run. I feel like in theory they are better, or at least it's better to play at home. And like obviously having the comforts of home is a huge thing, but like I don't think it's as big of a deal as it is sometimes. And obviously you saw the Bucks fall victim to it last year.
Like not just because like it has to be, but like just the different teams they've had since, let's say 2017, it's been important for those groups, but maybe not this year, like you say.
Sure. And I don't know. Like, I also think like I'd rather focus on the matchups, rather than the what's it called? Home court versus non-home court. Like staying top 4 obviously is like the baseline. You want home court in the first round at the very least. Staying above the Sixers would be huge because if you get to the 2 seed, you're probably playing Philly in the second round. But I kind of don't mind that, right? Like you'd probably be playing in all honesty, who would you rather play in the second round, Philly or Cleveland?
I was about to ask you the same thing. I was like, wouldn't you like want to play Philly? Yeah, I kind of would. Celtics have dominated Philly this year, 3 wins. 0 losses. They'll see him again, I believe, struggled right at the end of the season.
At times.
They've not played that great against Cleveland, even though they kind of have and they haven't at the same time. Like against Cleveland in every single game, they've been up like 15. They've just lost 3 of those games.
And so like Ben's saying, don't want a game 7 in Milwaukee. Yeah, we don't. I guess, but like I'm not gonna like be pressed over one scenario. Like, yes, having game 7 in Milwaukee is huge. And if anything, you'll have a chance to get an entire game back on them late in March when you play them. So like
that's
treat it as 1.5 games back versus 2.5 games back in a sense, right? Because
if you want to get into that, like because we talked about Philly, talked about Cleveland, Celtics have played well against Milwaukee this season. Won on Christmas, beat them up pretty bad, and then the skeleton crew almost went out there in Milwaukee and won. So we'll see when this third matchup happens
Mhm.
what we're looking at in terms of strengths, weaknesses heading into the playoffs, how the Celtics should be feeling, how Milwaukee should feel, and just get a feel for the whole matchup.
And so that combined with the fact that like Philly versus Cleveland, like in all honesty, you'd probably rather play Philly, at least in my opinion, Embiid or not. Like I'm not too pressed about the 1 seed. Would it be nice to have? Absolutely, it would be nice to have, especially if you're looking at the Bucks in a game 7. But I'm more concerned with the Celtics, A, getting into the postseason and getting healthy, and B, getting back to playing winning basketball like they were earlier in the season heading into the playoffs. I'd rather see both of those things and have them have some bumps along the way than like get mad at them after every game for, not getting the 1 seed. It sucks that they lost it, and it sucks that the Bucks. I mean, it also sucks that the Bucks went on a 16-game win streak, right? Like, I mean, come
Shame on the rest of the league for
on.
that one. I mean, come on.
Come on. Yeah, Andrew saying Milwaukee's the number 1 team the Knicks need to stay away from. No answer for Giannis. Yeah, sure. I've said it a bunch of times. The Knicks are fun. They're a cool first round team with potential to get out of the first round and make it to the second. And that is the end of the conversation. Birkin saying I am expecting a major upset this year in the first round. It could happen. I think if it were to happen, it'd probably happen out west. In the East, I feel like Boston, Milwaukee, Philly, Cleveland, always going to be my top picks to come out of the first round. If I were to pick anybody else, I'd probably say, okay, maybe if Jimmy Butler gets hot, or maybe if Jalen Brunson pops off for a series like the Knicks or the Heat, I could see maybe potentially having an upset over Philly or Cleveland. But I don't expect anything huge in the East. But out west, like the Warriors sneak in, they can take down a team in the first round. They're a low seed. The Mavericks get healthy and get on the same page. I can see them, doing something. Even the Lakers, like as much as you don't want to say it, Lakers have been looking good lately, and I know you definitely don't like it.
Team's gonna stop letting that happen too.
They're playing well. They've got a good roster now. Jared Vanderbilt's fitting in. D'Angelo Russell's playing well. Dennis Schroeder's
I told you, I don't know how teams just gave them help. Like they didn't give anything up at the trade deadline. Everyone was like, "All right, here you go." Like, do you think that's commissioner's orders? Tinfoil hat time? Like, what did they give up to get any of the pieces that they brought in? Nothing.
Excuse me.
What was in it for any of those teams? Nothing.
Okay, well, nothing. I don't think they got a big enough return, but like
they didn't even give up both the draft picks that Utah was coveting. They only gave up one.
If I had to guess, it was something along the lines of like there weren't many other good offers out there for the players that Utah was looking to trade. And if you're Utah, I'd rather get one of those first than none of them. Lakers were probably standing pat. Timberwolves needed switch because they didn't want to re-sign D'Angelo Russell, so they got Mike Conley back because he's probably a better fit with their team anyways. And then it just got up to the wire. Nothing else was out there, so the Jazz were like, "All right, fine. We at least want to get something back for these players." And then they got a first round pick, and that first round pick had
move from Danny.
Potential to be pretty valuable. Well, at least doesngoing to work for the Celtics.
He should still have that like little inkling to not help them.
No. That's going to be a valuable pick for the Jazz down the line too, though, because that's going to be.
Oh yeah, well that was the whole thing. Those 2 picks are supposed to be valuable, but they only got 1.
Well, yeah, because the Lakers weren't budging, and you take what you can get with a deadline come. Let's see. Lakers Celtics finals, says John. That'd be nice. I'd take that. Give me a Lakers Celtics finals, sure.
Celtics did the double on them this year, first time in forever.
Yeah, give it to him. Birkin saying in the playoffs we were a different animal. I believe this in a sense. I think I said this on the podcast. Like, I feel like the Celtics are just looking towards the playoffs almost too much, where they're like letting themselves slip up a little bit. But once they do get to the playoffs, I feel like they will lock in, right? Like, look at the run last year. Swept the Nets in the first round, and obviously the next 2 series went to 7. But like, when the Celtics were playing at their best, you could tell that they were a championship caliber team, and insert Sam saying they should have won it. Right?
Well, it's true. That is true. And to your point, even more, there were games that they looked like that, but then there were other games where they didn't look engaged, and that's why it went as long as it did in some of those series, especially Miami.
And my point is, I think that they realize like what they have to do now to win. Like last year, I feel like not that they were like floundering and like making it up as they go, but like they weren't a good team in the first half of the year, and they locked in, and then they went on this incredible run, and they've made it to the conference finals before, right? But the first year under a new coach with some new pieces in town, right? Like they were in large part figuring it out on the fly with this new roster composition, right? And when they're at their best, they're a championship level team. I feel like a big reason we've seen some of these stumbles lately, like the 3-game losing streak, is that they know what they have to do to win in the playoffs, and they're already looking forward to doing that. So I do think once the Celtics make it to the playoffs, they will be on their A game and they will be playing at their best. Does that mean they're going to go 16-0? No. Like, right? Like, you're going to lose games.
Fire.
Shit
That's
happens
my
in the
dream.
playoffs. But
that would be like the best
I think
thing ever. There would be no stress, all celebration all the time. We would be the best because I would just be on cloud 9 and talking my head off, talking trash to other teams. Last season was something special. Team truly did not want to win.
I don't think they were engaged so much as they were exhausted and couldn't sustain. Maybe I feel maybe they got tired at times, but like it's not like, I don't know. I just think they played the wrong way, right? Like, was there a little bit they're tired from a long season? Sure, but I don't know. It is what it is. I don't know. US. I think the secret little truth is that I assume you're gonna say something about Derek White, but I think you got cut off here.
But you got too excited. You accidentally hit enter. I'll hit enter right now, and we'll give you the pregame pick presented by Smash the Odds at Smash Odds on Twitter. It is the perfect time to drop a follow there with all of the college basketball going on. Conference tournaments this weekend. The big tournament kicks off later in the week, and gambling's now legal in Massachusetts. So make sure you follow at Smash Odds on Twitter for daily free picks, and you can pay for the premium subscription for the premium picks for the premium winnings. Today's pick is Atlanta plus 5.5. That's the spread. Getting a little bit of room there, and with the shakiness of the Celtics as of late, it could be very well a close game. Not too wild. My pick, Brogdon over 14.5 off the bench. I think he might get it. Think he's kind of due. Bonus picks, I also took Marcus Smart for a double-double. Think he's kind of due to have an impactful game. And Al Horford with a double-double, maybe, with Rob out. We'll see. It's tough with Capella down there, but...
There you go. Derek White over 1.5 threes. Not great odds, but I'm pretty confident in that. Derek White over 1.5 is also, a pretty good one to go with. So I like both of those. Sneaky pick. Jaylen Brown's over is 25.5 points, but he is in his home city. He's from Atlanta. Might pop off. Might have a pretty good game.
That's a good angle.
So we'll go with those. Smash the Odds. Big rat lately. Picking all the haters. All hater picks from Smash the Odds here.
Well, he's winning, though. Like, they've been bad.
Rat move. Right move regardless.
USMC saying, "Oh no, we didn't get a pick last game," but no. He's been right. He's been right.
I think the secret little truth that Derek White has turned into a two-way All-Star. He's had a great season, big season from Derek White.
Stepping up big time. He's filling into his role. Likes to play as a starter. Definitely way better when he's in that starting lineup. To Jack's point, right? He's a big fan of the Derek White in the starting lineup, and he's been sensational. Gives you a reliable play, knocks down his threes, able to create and get to the paint and get easier shots for his teammates. It's an interesting piece to add to the starting lineup versus maybe Robert Williams.
Android putting the send button next to the period and below the backspace was a big time smooth move. That's tough. Very tough. Andrew saying Celtics money line. Birkin saying, was Jaylen in foul trouble last game to 25 minutes? No, they blew him out. Sat the whole fourth quarter. He didn't have to play. And Landon saying, can we expect another Reigning Jays Jeopardy episode? Maybe down the line. I think we have another plan for new Jeopardies. Yeah. I think we want to get another group of people in for Jeopardy as well. But
season's starting to ramp up. We're going to do fun stuff when there's downtime because we're not stopping. We don't have anything else going on. We need you guys.
Yes. Landon saying White struggling from three lately. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, shit happens. People go through slumps. Yeah, like people go through slumps. They're not going to shoot hot all season long, unless you're Brogdon or Horford. And even I say Brogdon, he was terrible against the Trailblazers. He couldn't hit a layup to save himself. But I feel good against the Hawks. I mean, unless I'm missing something, I'm pretty sure their defense is pretty horrendous. But Trae Young is going to cause issues always. So you got to watch out for that at the very least.
I hope they kind of take care of this one early. First game in a long road trip. Kind of need to start off right. Can't stumble out of the gate because you're not going to have time to really be at home, practice, get straight. You're going to have to just roll with it. Yeah, you have Houston next, but this Atlanta team's like somewhat in the mix for the playoffs. You might see them. In my opinion, it's important to keep winning over this team. You need wins right now. Milwaukee has a tough matchup tonight. Could be a good chance to gain a game on them. Plus, you have Philly kind of breathing down your neck a little bit. So you got to keep winning. Take advantage. You saw Portland on Wednesday. They didn't play the best defense. And if Jack's right about Atlanta's defense, you should be able to do pretty much the same and get some good shots.
22nd.
You beat them up pretty bad in the first matchup this season down in Atlanta. Do it again. Do it again.
For sure. Hello, Gear.
Chat legend.
Jared asking Greg Stiesma or Victor. I don't got an answer for you.
Well, Stiesma was compared to Bill Russell. What was Favorani compared to? Nothing.
All right, we'll go with Stiesma then. There you go. Brogdon bent the rim 5 degrees last game. Brogdon did not hit a shot. Brogdon was pretty horrendous. Like there was no real excuse for Brogdon.
If there was a game for him to do nothing, that was it.
Yeah, I guess. Sure. Fair enough. Let's see here. Celtics by 8 minimum. Ben is confident. Brogdon missed like 5 to 6 shots he normally makes. Brogdon's been bad at the rim all year. This wasn't a new thing. Brogdon's been he can't make.
I think he's been okay at the rim, but you know the stats and I don't. My eye test says he's okay for the most part. I know it's not good.
Your eye test is horrendous then, because he is the 3rd most shots in the restricted area on the team and is shooting the worst out of anybody on the Celtics at the rim.
Well, he's not all that tall, so you got to give him a break. He's not as tall as like Tatum.
57.7% in the restricted area this year. No bueno. Not good. For reference, Jaylen Brown shooting about 70%. And he's great, but 13% below, not good. Not good. Gear saying Gallo revenge game. Let's win for him. Yeah. Go out there and win for Gallo.
Gallo's teasing the people.
He's looking.
He's putting out videos of him shooting threes. He has super cool haircut now. He's got the buzz cut. Looks fly in the suit on the bench.
I love Gallo.
Did Gallo go to Magic City last night, Jack? What do we think?
Nah, he's getting back on the court, man. I think he's ramping up. He's on the treadmill.
Do you think he's going to come back?
A
lot of smoke around him coming back.
Maybe in like the second round, conference finals. Maybe
it's always tough for me, like to think about that.
I don't know. I don't know if you do bring him back at that point.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how much does that help you? Like, he's gonna need to like get his legs back and find his footing. Like, maybe if like he's healthy, you put him in like in a blowout win. If you get one of those,
Gear, this is foul. That's foul behavior from you. Dave Dunk making an appearance. Hello. Gallo killed a dozen lemon pepper wings by himself, according to sources. Who are the sources?
I like that. Jack, write that on heavy. Key source indicates key Danilo Gallinari update. There you go.
Maybe not.
Gallinari hits major milestone towards NBA return.
He can play 4th quarter blowouts. Yeah, sure. Throw him in.
That'd be good.
My thing is though, like if you're gonna play somebody like Gallo, you just play Hauser at this point because he's had the whole season to work with the team. Like that's not a knock on Gallo, but
consistent shooting for the most part, even though he has had his ups and downs. But
good defender,
pretty solid, reliable, plays better defense than you would think. You're probably getting better defense than Gallinari.
Yeah, definitely. I would say so. Yeah. You're saying when Gallo comes back, do we even see Muscala? I saw something written about this. I think it was Heavy, a quote from Heavy. Like they're kind of the same player. They're kind of like very similar. Like you can play Muscala at the 5 a little bit more if you want to get cooked. But I guess that's gonna be interesting.
If you're really in the mood of giving.
Gear said he's a big fan of the Hauser family. Yes, Joey Hauser, I believe is his name, plays at Michigan State.
Michigan State.
So there you go. But anyways, about a minute till game time. Anything else you want to say before we get on out of here?
Big road trip. Not going to hear Gorman for 10 days, 13 days, whatever it is. Gonna miss him in his eye patch.
You got Scott. At least you got Grandy in there.
Oh, by the way, I was on the treadmill today and I saw a DraftKings commercial. Obviously, it's now live in Mass, so they're angling towards the Massachusetts audience. They got like Chara there, Big Poppy. For the Celtics, they have Scal. Scal's their legend they brought back for the commercial. And he's just like walking up the stairs with Big Poppy and Chara. One of these things is not like the other.
Something. It's Scal's something. Anyways, thank you, Ben. Thank you, everybody. Don't have to pay attention to this game in the 4th. I agree. Let's get it done here. Let's do something. Gorman will be watching from the VIP room of Magic City.
Good on you. I like that. Good story.
Anyways, thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate it. You can check us both out on Twitter. Those are below our faces. Go listen to the latest pod that dropped yesterday, I believe. So you can go check us out there. We did a fun bracket of the Office characters. So you can go see who we like from The Office.
The Office.
check out Heavy on Celtics on Facebook. You can find us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at How About Them C's. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube, How About Them Celtics on YouTube. Leave us a like. We're close to 300 subs, so make sure to leave a like for the algorithm and then subscribe to the channel as well. But yeah, that'll be it for us. We are live here 30 minutes before every single Celtics game, and we will see you guys before the next one. Peace out.